I'm the Ignorant Intellectual, and this is a space where you are invited to think about your thoughts. 5 things that poverty and wealth have in common. Number 1, poverty and wealth are both generational. Poor people ain't the only ones who are comfortable remaining in their station and teach their kids how to suck from the system. All stereotypes. But wealthy people too hand down strategies on how to maintain their wealth and benefit from the system most. So please, let's kill this polarized poverty view of race and class-based system manipulation. Every day, some wealthy kid is absorbing information around them on how to maintain their family's wealth, whether explicitly stated or passively acquired, from how to frame a conversation with the loan officer to boost perceived value, or overhearing their father's conversations with his brothers on price points, or his mother's conversations with her sisters on price points. Similarly, each day, there's a poor kid somewhere absorbing information on how to report income that will allow their family to continue to qualify for Section 8 housing, or how to negotiate with a utility provider on paying the least amount to keep the lights on, because we know that there is a large gap between existing on social systems and all of a sudden being able to thrive at social market. A wide gap, almost imperceivably wide. Both poverty and wealth are handed down. This is about the skills acquired in both spaces that guarantee survival and continuation of said systems. Fundamentally, a dope boy passing down the business acumen to his son is no different than a Wall Street banker passing down his business acumen to his son, fundamentally. Number 2, poverty and wealth are both systemic. Be clear, despite imagery depicting poverty as inherently negative and wealth as inherently positive, poor folk ain't the only ones sucking from the system. System utility is not monopolized by poor Black people. The wealthy also master their given systems and strategize ways to solidify their stake. Poverty and wealth are both social structures with a purpose and a function. Whether that purpose is to maintain the existing structures in ways that most benefit you, or whether that function is to ensure that the next generation acquires capital, we can view poverty and wealth as means to access basic human rights or dignity. Whether we're discussing how wealthy people access food and shelter systems, or how poor people access education and energy systems. Number 3, poverty and wealth are both recipients of welfare. Please don't let these little sound and visual bites fool y'all. Wealthy folk receive substantial government subsidies, arguably more than poor folk. Welfare checks and unemployment compensation pale in comparison to government bailouts, but they file UC claims too. According to Oklahoma U.S. Senator Tom Coburn, over $9.5 billion in government funds have been paid to millionaires since 2003, including $74 million of unemployment checks and $9 billion in retirement checks. Yes, billionaires collecting unemployment checks. Yep, the same unemployment and retirement checks that have been stereotypically associated with poor Black folk, but only the poor are sucking the system dry. Miss me with the mythology. Listen, this silence around welfare for the wealthy feeds the racialized view that poverty equals Black. Fun fact, white Americans make up 42% of the poor, but consume 69% of government benefits. Funner fact, Black Americans comprise 22% of the poor, but consume only 14% of government benefits. Even the term welfare is classist and racially charged, and has become the catchphrase for Black people, mothers, who receive government cash assistance and or food stamps. Number 4, neither poverty nor wealth are the result of hard work, aka meritocracy. Contrary to popular opinion, few people acquired wealth simply through hard work. Most were born into it. Remember, I said wealth is passed down generationally. The power inherent in wealth allows it to write its own story and promote a meritocracy narrative. Similarly, most poor people were born into their social position, a social class with little to no acquired financial capital, thus solidifying their social position. Conversely, the absence of inherent power in poverty allows others to write the popular shiftless derelict poverty narrative. Yes, I know you know somebody who was born into abject poverty and worked really hard, hold themselves up by their bootstraps, and died rich, maybe even wealthy. And because that person did, We all have this equal access, and it's if we all work hard that we can all die as wealthy as Bill Gates, right? But remember, exceptionalism does not negate structural inequities, and anecdotal evidence pales in comparison to systematic inequities. The fifth thing that poverty and wealth have in common: both poor people and wealthy people spend money on shit they don't need. Enough said. Well, that's it. 5 things that poverty and wealth have in common. This is actually a video adaptation of an article that I wrote for ebony.com years ago. 5 things that poverty and wealth have in common. If you like what you heard, share, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Remember, this is a space where you are invited to think about your thoughts. You ain't gotta agree with me, but just make sure that you know why you think what you think. Peace.